hello to the Midnight Milkshake listeners. Robert and I are engaged, and a lot of people on our respective social media platforms don't know this. And every time that I sneak Robert into my content in the background or something, I get just an influx of comments being like, oh my God, is that Robert Schultz? Oh my God, is that Robert Schultz? In a way that makes both of us go, is Robert way more famous than we know? But it's only when he has a really tiny cameo in the back of my videos that truly it's so many people come out of the woodwork. He is as famous as Trisha Paytas in these moments.
Well, it's you'll post a video on your channel that just has me casually in the background, and there'll be a bunch of comments with thousands of likes being like, Robert Schultz. Meanwhile, I'll post a video on my channel with 900K plus followers. All the comments are like, first, second, bro fell off, put the fries in the bag, bro fell off. Midnight
Milkshake.
Bro fell off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so wait a minute. How am I being recognized in your TikTok?
Yeah.
Where on my TikTok, bro fell off?
Why is it that? We're just confused.
It's I only get nice feedback when I'm in the background of Dana's channel.
But I guess that makes sense in that I was talking about this, but on TikTok, I'll see so many girls try to do videos where they talk about their lore, and I will happen to know their lore because I've been following them on social media for the last 20 years or something. And I always think to myself, if I were to make a video about your lore, that video would go super viral because I'm talking about you, but you talking about yourself, people don't give a shit. It's again, there's one girl that I followed for 20 years, and I actually did get to hang out with her a couple times a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. And I've seen her try to make lore videos, and they just kind of low-key flop. And I'm like, I know if I were to make lore videos about this girl, they would be viral as fuck. And I'm like, what is it about? You can't write your own mythology. Basically, I think this is the takeaway from
I also think it's a thing of because I'm in the background of your videos, or I'll cameo in your videos. People feel by recognizing me, they're solving a mystery or cracking a code, or they're in on a secret. Yeah. Whereas when I'm in the foreground of my videos, who gives a shit about that? I mean, that's business as usual.
Yeah. But I'm yeah, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Robert and I are engaged. And then people will also be like, what? Is this for real? I thought this was a joke. What's the joke?
What's the joke?
That we spend every waking weekend together
for years,
and then we pretend that we're gonna get married. Well, and we live together.
That is also
and we do everything together. That's what's the joke?
Yeah, that is also the funny thing too about specifically people. I guess people being I had no idea shot because literally I have not posted a video on the internet where Dana and I were not together.
Yeah.
Literally, I have never, ever posted.
Since both of us have been posting pretty much, we've been together.
Yeah. Every video I've ever filmed for my TikTok has been in Dana's bedroom.
Question mark, we film our videos in the same bedroom. And no one has ever caught on. No one cares.
Well, I do think that part of it is because we're in different niches.
Yes, I think that's
content
huge.
is in totally different places.
I think that's also it. It's when people do spot you, it's even more of an Easter egg because it's kind of out of, it's how if I was watching a beauty guru and I saw, I guess it's the same thing as why Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce would date.
It's different niches. I did think it was funny that you posted a video in which you referenced that I'm your fiance, and you were joking haha, isn't it crazy he technically has more followers on TikTok than me? Haha, I really should get more followers to catch him. Cue an avalanche of comments being I didn't even know who that ugly fuck, gross, unfunny idiot was, queen. And I'm yeah, I get what you're saying. It doesn't. I don't quite know that response was necessary.
Can I say something? I do think people on the internet are way too comfortable calling men ugly, and the same people who are comfortable calling men ugly on the internet are the same ones who would be absolutely up in arms at a man calling a woman ugly.
Okay, but all right, well, that's almost a separate detour. Okay. Because here's the thing, I'm actually all for calling men ugly
in general, just not for calling him ugly.
Well,
because he's not. Well, no, he's handsome.
But also, that's not even what I'm saying. I hate that we got here.
You're handsome.
I don't like this. I don't like this
You're
at all.
so handsome.
Okay.
Honey.
I'm actually completely cool with calling men ugly on the internet, or at least way more so than women. Because again, like I will say women's looks
are more important.
In the context of society, society gives women so much more pressure about their looks specifically. Like it ties their value very unfairly to like their looks. It creates an impossible beauty standard and then ties women's value to the degree to which they meet that standard. So yes, calling a woman ugly inherently carries more bite, where when someone on the internet is like, that man is ugly, it's like, not nice, not kind.
Not nice, not kind.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Right.
But no, like, it is a little different.
Well, yeah, there's an inherent, it doesn't, from a power perspective, a man's power and opportunity is not as affected by him being perceived as ugly.
Well, I do think that is like one thing I always roll my eyes at whenever like a woman on the internet like makes fun of a man or criticizes a man or has any sort of conflict with a man. There's always men in the comments being like, oh, what if the roles were reversed? Oh, well, what if a guy was doing this to her? And I'm like, well, yeah, it would be a completely different scenario.
Right.
You're saying that like, but it wouldn't be the same if the roles were reversed.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, it wouldn't be the same if you changed crucial elements of this scenario.
Nothing exists outside of context and nuance, people.
Yeah. But anyway, going back to what we were talking about, it is just funny that you're like, haha, this is my fiance. He has more followers than me. That's kind of weird. I should have more followers. And the comments in an earnest effort to be supportive are like, I never even knew who that anonymous fuck was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, she's still engaged to me.
Right. Like that still is my fiance. Like I don't need you to dogpile on him.
Yeah.
I don't need you to say horrible things about him. One comment that we thought was interesting was someone asking if I could fix your eyebrows. And we both would like to know, what do you mean by that? Do you want me to thin out Robert's eyebrows? Do you want me to bleach Robert's eyebrows? How do you propose I fix his eyebrows?
Everyone on the internet always consistently tells me in the comments that my eyebrows are crazy. You need to fix your eyebrows. I don't know what that means.
We don't know what that means. What does that look like?
What does that look like?
Because if you'll notice, like Robert doesn't even have like I wouldn't call them like, okay, like for example, my eyebrows. Right now I have some like little sparse hairs underneath that like I could see that I could pluck them so my line would be cleaner. But Robert's line of his eyebrows, if you look at them, a very clean line.
I have a clean line.
He has a clean line. Like his eyebrows are actually very kempt. So we're just confused. Do you want us to completely like reshape them? Like, what do you want us to do with Robert's eyebrows?
What should I do?
We can do it live on the pod. Like, we'll fix them. No, Robert's like, no.
But I remember in high school, a girl did tell me that she thought my eyebrows were crazy. She was like, you have crazy eyebrows. So I went home and tried to trim them. And of course, when you try to trim them, I just use like my mom's razor. And I ended up just like shaving like half my eyebrows off. And then walked into school the next day like nothing was wrong.
Did you do it horizontally or vertically? Did you try to like...
It's as if like they got like... It was like...
So you tried to like thin them out like that from the top?
It was kind of both. It was kind of like I worked in from the outside in. They were like half. They were like half gone. And then the girl was like laughing at me because she was like, your eyebrows are crazy. And it is just like, yeah, but I was trying to do...
Right.
In many ways,
I did this for you.
Crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
In many ways, I've proven you to be insane.
Like you said I was crazy before, so I did this, and now you're saying I'm crazier.
I said my eyebrows are normal. You said, no, they're insane. They're insane and bushy and crazy. So then I shaved them down, and you're like, you look insane. I'm like, yeah, got your ass.
Yeah.
In a way, this proves you wrong.
Yeah.
Me in high school, I'm like, this actually proves all of you wrong. I'm walking the halls.
With half eyebrows. And didn't they look silly?
Yeah.
Didn't they look silly? Okay, I also want to talk about how, so Robert and I technically are in an interracial relationship. We present very interracial, right?
And that I'm white and you're not.
And that you're white and I'm not. But I was thinking about this the other day. It's interesting to me because both Robert and I are half Irish. We're both half Irish. Which means that there are white couples who are like, one is French, one is German, that are more interracial than us.
I would also say we had kind of similar upbringings. Like, I'm from the Midwest, but I went to a very nice private school. Dana's from Palo Alto, Silicon Valley. Like, I would almost argue that like a white person born and raised in New York City and a white person born in like Louisiana, if they dated, that would actually be more interracial than you and I.
Also more, like they'd have more cultural clashing. There would theoretically be more butting heads of like, oh, this is how we do things, da 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 da. I also am not very like ingrained in the customs of either of my cultures at all. Like I always joke, like I'm half Filipino, half Irish. Most American thing about me is I don't know anything about either culture. But I'm like, that's true. Like I'm like, you know, we're both kind of.
Well, again, because we have actually what's really important in common, which is we watched all the same TV shows. And by all means, by the way, when either of us is coming to the end of a sentence and we think we know where it's going, just chime in. Just pounce on the last word.
Did I not get it right?
I'm waiting. I'm going to see if I can guess yours. Say a sentence. I'll see if I can guess the end.
No, I don't know now. And also now I'm worried that you're going to guess it. I don't like that.
You don't like the idea that I could guess the end of the sentence?
I don't like it.
So just say a normal sentence.
What? How do you say a normal sentence? That's a fucking crazy prompt.
You know, just say a normal sentence.
I'm Dana.
Dana.
Okay.
We'll cut that.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah,
I was just thinking, I'm like, we're less interracial than like so many white couples. And I'm like, but you wouldn't know to look at us. And that's how I know people are like ultimately shallow.
That leads into another thing, which is like, I know that everyone on the internet and in real life thinks that I'm gay, like for real. Like they cannot fathom that I'm straight. And I know that they believe it in their bones because people are so distracted by their thinking that I'm clearly gay that I'm a white guy dating an Asian woman and nobody's even mad at me about that.
Nobody cares.
No one cares because they're so focused on like, you're gay dating a woman that they're just skipped over the part where they go like, you're a white guy with an Asian girlfriend. Because like, again, pretty much every other white guy with an Asian girlfriend, like every other white guy who comes out of the woodwork and is like, I'm dating an Asian woman. People go, oh, I bet you are. You fetishizing weird perv. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm dating an Asian woman, and people are like, woman?
Yeah.
Who do you think you're kidding?
They're like, woman.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
I also just like maintain, like I literally just talk like this.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's. People have said what they think, and I'm kind of like, look, it is what it is. You think what you think.
Yeah. Here's what else I will say. I will say this. Dana has, since she realized that putting me in the background of her videos gets her a lot of comments and engagement, she started putting me in the background of a lot more videos.
Views are low.
Yeah.
I'm out here. Girls gotta eat.
Yeah.
Girls gotta eat.
Earlier today, we're in the car and she just mentioned that. She goes, views are kind of down. I was like, hey, if you ever want to amp up views, just keep putting me in the background. Ha ha. And Dana went, ha ha. Dead serious.
And then I immediately took out my phone and I filmed a video and I put him in the background.
And it was getting.
And it is doing good.
Yeah. Meanwhile, videos I film that's just me. Old news, old hat.
Old news, old hat.
Do people care about this? Do people care about inside baseball?
I don't know. We'll find out, I guess.
Yes, we will.
So if you hate it, I don't know, leave a comment. We hate this. We hate this. Okay. So I have another topic. It's very well known and documented that as women age, they are attracted to men who are their age as well. So it's like as women get older, they're attracted to older men. However, on the flip side, as men get older, the age of women they are attracted to remains the same. So this is like a studies show, aka studies conducted by perverts, obviously, by perverted men.
The study is like you go outside and look around,
right?
And it's like every old man with like a young girlfriend,
right? But the reasoning for this is because men can reproduce well into their 70s, 80s. Mm-hmm. Their sperm is viable. Ew, I just can't believe I just said their sperm is viable. So they're still looking for a viable mate to carry their child. This is the studies.
This is like your old uncle explaining why it's okay. He has a 20-year-old girlfriend. He's like, well, you see, the seed remains viable.
Yeah. So anyway, from a biological standpoint, the explanation is that, yes, older men are still attracted to like 25-year-old women because they know that a 25-year-old woman could carry their baby and it's biological, blah, blah. But I was thinking about this where I'm like, with recent advancements in the fertility and reproductive space, wouldn't it be that like a 40-year-old woman with a fuck ton of money actually has a better chance of procreating with the help of fertility doctors than like a random 25-year-old who may or may not be infertile? And you know what I'm saying? Basically what I'm saying is as we evolve, wouldn't that shift? Like, wouldn't a man in his 70s actually start to be attracted to like a 45-year-old woman with a fuck ton of money? Question mark? From a biological standpoint?
I think that
I'm just talking about what? No, go ahead.
Do you have more? I think that at the end of the day, it's like you've kind of trapped yourself in the pervert snare.
Okay.
Which is you're trying to some pervert in some pervert lab came up with a convoluted scientific explanation for why perverts are normal, actually.
Yeah, okay.
And you're trying to come up with an equally convoluted explanation for how that actually is an illogical conclusion. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Because, I actually don't think it has anything to do with... Because if like an 80-year-old man is dating a 25-year-old girl and he does actually get her pregnant, he's probably going to try to kill her.
You think?
I don't know.
Alec Baldwin had like 7 kids recently.
But she was in her 40s.
That's true.
And you know what? It doesn't seem like that's going great.
He said that his kids saved his life and they taught him how to love again. And he said when you get older, you have so much love to give. And you need to find a place to give it.
Parents are always saying that their younger batch of children saved their life and taught them to love again.
It's like, they do. They love to start a second family, and they're like, my second family is really, they saved my life. My second family saved my life. Yeah. Those first ones try to fuck me.
Yeah. But it is also, it is just like, it is like, no, it's like, actually, like, I don't think old men are creepy to younger women on any biological level. Okay. I don't think it's anything to do with fertility or procreating.
I guess I just wanted to posit the possibility that as we evolve as a species and as, reproduction becomes kind of, as we make advances in the reproductive field, how like biology theoretically would evolve to like match that.
Well, you're saying that actually then men should evolve to be more attracted to like rich middle-aged women with the capacity to freeze the most eggs.
Yes, theoretically, if we're talking about like what would be biologically, evolutionarily advantageous.
Instead of being attracted to like the youngest woman with the biggest rack and widest hips, they should be attracted to the loneliest middle-aged woman with the highest income and biggest freezer. I gotta be honest,
right?
I might be on board.
Like, I'm just putting that out there. Yeah. I'm just like, it seems like we've reached a point in societal advancement where that would be the case. Yeah. Like, if survival of the fittest is real, and I am a smart guy who wants my seed to survive. Again, I'm sorry, I said I'm a middle-aged man who wants my seed, or an old man who wants my seed to survive. Yeah. I would know intuitively that my best bet is the rich woman with the big freezer.
So let's just say, if you Dana Donnelly.
I, Dana Donnelly, I'm a 70-year-old man. Mm-hmm. And I'm smart.
Your seed to survive.
Yes, because I'm the fittest. I'm survival of the fittest. I'm the fittest 70-year-old man. I know that like I still have viable semen. Mm-hmm. I still have viable sperm. I am not looking to like a random 28-year-old who probably has been on and off birth control since she was 16 and therefore, has lowish fertility odds. I am looking at a 45-year-old woman that I know can, get an embryo created in a lab.
You are looking at a 45-year-old woman who's just made partner at an all-male law firm who had to put her dating life on hold throughout her 20s and 30s.
Yes. If I want my seed to survive, I'm like, I know that she is the egg I'm gonna have to mix with. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, this is a great way to call the bluff of an old creep who claimed it was all biology
that's the bluff
and science.
I'm calling. I'm saying that if we are evolutionarily advancing in accordance with, societal technology, that would be the case. That would be the case.
Yeah. Well, that's also so funny because like, how sometimes like people will gossip about like that, or like a man will be married to a woman, his first wife, for like 30 years and start a family. And then he'll leave her for like his young hot secretary. Now he's going to leave her for like his old accomplished coworker. Yeah. And his ex-wife is going to be like, you're just with her for her freezer.
Yeah. You're just with her for her freezer. I literally am like, will that become a new kind of like, you just like her because she has the money for the best fertility doctor in the county? Will it become that?
I'm going to go ahead and say no.
But then that would prove that it's not about biological
it was never
blah, blah,
about
blah.
that.
It's like, you just think she's hot.
Yes.
But I'm trying.
Who were you arguing with right now?
I don't know. I think you're right in that I lured myself into the pervert snare, and then
You've caught yourself in the pervert snare.
I think you're right.
It's like the old half your age plus 7
Right,
thing.
exactly. Do you want to explain that?
Yes. Well, obviously it's a thing where like perverts will date, like whenever an old, mostly man, whenever an older person, mostly always a man, has like a younger girlfriend,
Yeah.
anytime anyone tries to comment on the fact that it's a little creepy they have a younger girlfriend, they'll hit you with the old, well, half your age plus 7, which means that actually a relationship can't be creepy as long as the younger person is at least half the older person's age plus 7 years. First of all, it's crazy to just like make up an equation that proves you're not a pervert. You made that up.
Yeah.
It's like you just clearly whoever invented that was a creep and just half your age plus 7 happened to equal his girlfriend's exact age.
Imagine finding out the quadratic formula was created to justify a pedophile's actions.
Yes. Well, maybe it was.
But half your age plus 7. Where was that invented? I feel like it was like a Playboy article or something.
I mean, it had to be. Well, that seems like one of those things that was just like always said. It feels very 1950s.
It is.
And I also always say this, the plus 7 just feels like it was desperately tacked on at the last minute. Like someone was coming up with that phrase and they're like, someone's like, hey, what do you think is like an acceptable rule of thumb for like age gap relationships? And he was like, I don't know, half your age. And the other person was like, half your age? He's like, plus 7.
Yeah.
He's like, half your age plus 2? No, not 7. 7. And I'm like, that is the pervert snare. They try to distract you with logic and minutia.
Right.
To make what is actually quite a simple situation complicated.
It's also just like, no, I can see with my eyes, like, she's too young for you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I can just see it. I can eyeball it. Too young for you.
Also, here's what I will say, though. Here is where I hope this is not. Here is where I will dare I say put some of the burden on the woman, just to say like some of the burden's got to be on the woman in some of these. If like
no, 100%.
If it's like a 70-year-old man dating a 25-year-old woman, I'm like, yeah, this 70-year-old man. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
But also, the 25-year-old woman is getting something from the relationship, obviously.
True.
Like, duh.
But then I'm like, you better be.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, you got to be upfront with that.
Yeah, right.
Because the 70-year-old man is like, I'm with this. Because here's the thing, your relationship makes no sense. Everyone who sees you is like, that doesn't make sense. So the 7-year-old man has a built-in explanation, which is, well, I'm an old pervert and she's young.
Right. But like for the young girl, it's like he better have money.
Well, it's like, he better have money.
Yeah.
He better have money. He better have some sort of curse or talisman that controls you.
Yeah.
He better be some sort of old warlock who's teaching you the magical ways. I don't know, but there has to. You have to come clean too.
You better be his warlock mentee.
You better be his warlock mentee.
Or what the fuck is going on? That actually brings me to vampire rules. So Robert and I watched this movie Abigail.
Great movie, by the way.
Great movie.
We really
the other
enjoyed
day.
it. But we're not here to give free clout to movies.
No. We're not here to give free clout to movies.
So officially, we're neutral on Abigail.
Yeah, officially Abigail Schmabigail.
Unofficially, we quite liked it.
Unofficially, we did like it. But I was thinking about like the rules of vampirism because I started to think about like, oh my God, what if a vampire came in right here right now and wanted to turn me into a vampire? And my immediate first concern was, wait, but like, is my body going to be the same forever? Because like, here's my thing. I like my body fine, but if this is going to be like my forever body, I would like a heads up, like maybe a month or so I can get in a quick shred, so I can get rid of any unwanted fat. Because it does seem like once you turn as a vampire, it's like you kind of are locked into whatever appearance you had as a human.
Well, it's like Robert Pattinson, Edward in Twilight.
Yeah.
A big thing was he was a vampire with like, sunken cheeks and six-pack abs. Here's the thing. If you're going to turn me into a vampire, it's like, I'd rather be that kind of vampire.
Right, exactly.
But I'm going to need a little bit of time
to get there before you freeze me. Like, I'm like, I just need, if when you turn me into a vampire, I'm again locked into whatever form I am when you turn me. I want to make sure that form is something I'm happy with for eternity.
Well, the whole sell of the vampire is yes, in many ways it's a curse, but also you get to be young and hot forever.
Yeah.
That being said, it's like, I don't want to be like a 7 forever.
No, exactly. Like if this is my truly forever body, I'm like, let me get into like the best shape of my fucking life. Let me make sure like my hair is how I want it. Let me make sure let me make sure I'm in order.
And you might be thinking, well, no, it's like vampires, like they all become like lithe and whatever. But that's not true.
I don't think so. I think
because
it's just
in Abigail, in this movie, Abigail's turned to a vampire as a child, therefore she stays a child forever.
Yeah.
So you don't grow. Your body's development stops. So that would include the development of muscle or like
also,
the burning of fat.
You can't be in a calorie deficit when like what you feed on is blood.
Also, it seems like when vampires like don't get blood, it's not
they
like
don't get skinnier.
Yeah, they just like get sick.
just die.
They get sick
or they
and
get really
die.
sick. They don't die. They get really sick.
And eventually die.
But it's
I'm
like,
so then I'm like, it also doesn't seem like crunches really do the trick.
no, I don't think there's like a way. I don't think exercising helps if you're a vampire, which is again a pro once you're a vampire.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, let me lock in the physique that I want before you fucking turn me. I don't want to be like, I don't want to be, as I call my body type, chub adjacent. I don't want to be like almost kind of chubby and like forever an eternity.
Well, because also a big thing with vampires is you're kind of like seducing your victims.
Yeah.
You're like drawing them in with your allure.
Right.
But if you're like a 7,
it's kind of hard.
It's going to be hard to do
like
that.
it's harder for you to get blood because you're just like not as hot.
Yeah. You're going to have to like be like swiping on Tinder over and over again.
So true. Just to lock in some victims.
Just to lock in like a meal.
Yeah. And I think it's also interesting because I was thinking about Edward. You brought up Edward from Twilight. Edward was like, wasn't it in the 1800s? He was like a victim of the Spanish flu, and it was Carlisle turned him because he was a patient.
Yeah.
He was like going to die of the Spanish flu. And I'm like, that seems really unfair too, that he got turned literally at his skinniest.
Yeah.
He was like dying of the Spanish flu, and that's when he got turned. I'm like, let me catch the Spanish flu real quick.
And then
before you turn me.
And then a vampire comes to turn you, and you're like, turn me in like 2 more days.
I'm like 2 more days. I'm like, I'm really close.
I'm close to my goal.
I'm really close to my goal weight.
Yeah, let me hit my goal weight before you lock me into my eternal form.
Exactly. And so that's something I was thinking about, that I was like, that is my main concern about being turned into a vampire. And the rest I can figure out as I go. You know?
Yeah, it's also a thing with vampires. Also, this has been much discussed, but like vampires who get turned when they're teenagers, so they keep going to high school forever.
Right.
That's yet another thing where I'm like, clearly you're just a pervert. Because you literally are immortal with superpowers.
Right.
You can go anywhere and do anything.
Yeah.
You're choosing to be in an American public school.
Also American public school. I was also thinking that. I'm like, okay, like, yes, in America, there are pretty like rigid truancy laws, but I'm like, but you could just like homeschool.
Well, you're off the grid forever.
You don't need to comply.
As far as the government's concerned, you're like 300 years old. Like that's another thing. There was also this kind of was cut back. There also in vampire media seems to be a disproportionate amount of Confederate soldier vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was also a lot of them. A lot of vampires like fought for the Confederacy, it seems.
Right, there does seem to be like some sort of like underlying like white supremacy into all vampire lore.
Twilight was one in the Vampire Diaries. In the Vampire Diaries, didn't they say like Damon fought for the Confederacy, but he didn't really like it that much?
I think that was part of the lore.
That's a little bit.
Yeah, that's questionable.
It's like,
for
sure. He sat through like his high school history class in like 2014.
Yeah.
He was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I got to change my backstory a little bit.
Also, again, so funny to sit through your high school class and you're like in one of the pictures in the textbook.
Yeah.
Today I got a DM from a plastic surgery company. The account was called like, it was just like a plastic surgery clinic. They do plastic surgery. They DM me, hey girl, we'd love to collab. And to them I say, what'd you have in mind? What did you have in mind for my plastic surgery?
So wait. A plastic surgery company.
Yes.
That's so offensive because here's the thing, like when a clothing company reaches out to collab, they're like, you look pretty. We want you to wear our clothes.
Yes.
When a plastic surgery company reaches out to you, it's saying like, we have some things we could fix.
Right. You have some things we could fix. We could work with you.
Yeah.
They're saying we could work with you.
Well, really what they're saying is we could work on you.
We could work on you.
Which is not okay.
And again, I'm like, should I reply and just be like, hey, like, what'd you have in mind for me?
Yeah.
Like, just to see what they're, well, clearly you want to get your ugly nose fixed. Like, maybe they'll say that.
Maybe you just want to kind of bait out of them what exactly.
Like, I want to know what they think the collaboration would consist
what opportunities they see.
Right, exactly. Like, what they think they could do for me. But that reminded me of, I did almost get a boob job when I was 22 years old. I moved to LA. I was very lost, and I became convinced that my main problem, was the fact that I thought my boobs were a little saggy. And if you don't know my lore, I was briefly obese in high school. I weighed like probably 45 pounds more than I do now. And I was convinced too that like when I was really fat, my boobs got fucking massive. They were so big. I was walking around with just like fucking huge cans. They were fucking big. And then after obviously I lost the weight, my boobs got a lot smaller. And so I was always convinced that like there was like volume loss and that was contributing to them not being like as perky, in quotes, whatever, blah, blah, body dysmorphia, schmorphia, it doesn't matter. I, again, become convinced that my life will be significantly better if I can get a boob job. And I one day call my mom and I'm like, I want to see a plastic surgeon and get a consult. And I'm sobbing. And as I say this, I say, like, I'm 22. I shouldn't have the tits of a 28-year-old.
I'm 22. I shouldn't have the tits of a 28-year-old.
Tits of 28-year-olds. Because my mom was basically like, shouldn't you wait until like after you have a baby and you breastfeed? Like she's like, a lot of people just get their boobs redone like after they have a baby and they breastfeed.
Can I just say this? Yeah. Not to judge. That's not the thing you say. That's not the thing you say. When you're 22, when a 22-year-old says, I want a boob job, you don't go like, well, surely you should just wait until get to a boob job at a later date.
I do think, however, when someone says something crazy to you, suggesting postponement is actually a really good strategy because it doesn't, how do you say, crazy people who have an idea can get really defensive if you just outright say that's a bad idea. If you can put it off, especially if you know, okay, again, if you know me, I have a lot of crazy impulsive ideas that I have never ended up acting out. So I think like my mom probably knows about me that like, oh, if I can convince her like, let's do this in a year, you'll forget about this, because ultimately this is what ended up happening with this boob job. So my mom goes, okay, whatever, like I'll pay for a consult. Go get a consult. I pay $500. I go to this consultation and the doctor come into the doctor's office. She goes, okay, take off your shirt. Great. She goes, I'm gonna take a couple pictures. So this doctor's taking topless pictures of me in her office.
Although I don't really think you can be bashful once you've gone in for the boob job consult.
No. I mean, I wasn't bashful. I showed her my boobs and stuff. She was gonna work on them. And she sits me down and she goes, okay, explain to me what you think is wrong with your boobs. And I was basically just like, they're so saggy. Like whatever, like I'm like going on this tirade. And she literally, and then she goes, okay, and then what do you think they should look like? And I'm like, I want them to be like, and I'm like, up here and like whatever, da da da. And she like looks at me and she goes, okay, so what you're describing, she goes, actually, you're describing the breasts of a prepubescent child. That's what she said to me. And she goes, so like I don't do that. And she's like, I'm not gonna, she's like, what you're suggesting is like not even developmentally realistic. That's what she said to me. And she was like, the only thing I would do for you would be, she goes, I could raise your areola 1/4 of an inch so that your breast would appear higher on your chest.
Like she would move your nipple up?
She would move my nipple up 1/4 inch so that my breast would have the appearance of like being perkier.
So she would kind of work on you not as a plastic surgeon, but more so as an illusionist.
Yes. She was like, I have a magic trick I can do for you.
She's like, I can create kind of a funhouse mirror effect.
Yes.
That would simulate what you're asking for.
She was like essentially being like, I can contour you permanently.
I can permanently contour your areolas.
Contour your areolas. Basically, that's what she was saying. And I would still have to go under the knife, and this surgery would be $12,000. And so after the consult, I go, oh, great, I want to do it. Like I want to do it.
After hearing the craziest idea anyone's ever heard,
you're like,
I
go, yes, I'm in. And then my mom calls her to talk on the phone. My mom is like kind of upset, and my mom's just kind of like, well, like, would you suggest it for your daughter? And the plastic surgeon goes, I mean, no. She was like the plastic surgeon was basically like kind of like low key against this. Like she was like, I think like given, not even that, like, it's like if I had wanted, like if I had come in and been like, I want a huge rock, I think she would have been like, okay, great, we'll give you a huge rock.
Yeah.
But I came in being like, I want my boobs to be really high up on my chest. And she's like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, basically what happens is, luckily, thank God, there's not any OR space for another like 14 weeks. And by the time it comes around to like rebook the OR, I've lost interest in this whole project.
Oh my God.
But yeah.
Also, again, there is something to like, that's crazy. Yeah. That whole thing is crazy.
Yeah. And to this day, I'm really glad.
Clearly your mom didn't want you to get the boob job, but also did not have it in her to just say, no, you shouldn't get the boob job.
Yeah.
This plastic surgeon didn't want to give you the boob job, but also didn't quite have it in her to just outright say, I don't want to give you a boob job.
Yes.
Ultimately, you wanted the boob job, but also, no, you didn't.
Yeah. Basically, there were 3 people who thought that this was a bad idea, and yet it almost happened.
Well, it's almost like you all were playing hot potato with the obvious truth, which is Dana should not get a boob job.
No.
But it's like your mom, when you could have thrown it on your mom. Your mom's like, going for the consult. And the consult's like, that's not, maybe something different slightly. And then you take it and you're like, okay, $12,000. What's my mom think? And then back to your mom.
So we played hot potato with this. Oh, well, when's the next OR availability? Hot potato.
and I don't know what this will do for the narrative that I'm gay as hell or whatever.
Right.
I'm so glad you don't have just like giant weird boobs.
Yeah. Ultimately, I am too. I'm glad I didn't go under the knife to have my areola moved a 1/4 inch. I'm glad I didn't get like fat implants or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely, it was an interesting time in my life.
I'm just picturing like a bunch of like classic frat bro guys who are just like elbowing each other like, hey, did you hear Dana got a boob job? Oh, dude, what? Oh, yeah. How big are they? It's like big. No, she moved her areolas up a 1/4 inch.
Oh my God, I just still think that's so funny. Like that when she was explaining to me what she was gonna do, it was like, I'm gonna move your areola up a 1/4 inch.
Well, what she should have said was she goes, well, what I can do is I can switch your areolas. I can put your left one on your right and your right one on your left. And that way it would give the effect you're looking for. And you would have given her 12 grand. And then
just switch up my areolas.
And then what she would have done is nothing.
Yeah, and charged me 12 grand.
And then you would have been like, finally.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, this was also the funniest. This was the funniest shit ever. So like, I think it was like maybe 4 weeks after my consult, my sister came to stay with me. And at some point I was changing and my sister looks at my boobs while I'm changing and she goes, oh my God, like, are those your new boobs? They look so good. They were just my normal boobs. And I was like, I didn't get the boob job.
The reason I'm not laughing, because this is this is funny and absurd, but I am just like, the fact that like no one in your life had just the basic common sense to be like, no.
I just love like
crazy.
After I didn't get the boob job, oh my God, are those your new boobs? They look really good. They're my old boobs.
They were your regular boobs.
They're my old boobs.
But again, it is like, it does seem like everyone in this scenario, your mom, the plastic surgeon, even your sister, yourself, every single person was fully in their heart and head, knew that this was an insane idea, but also was fully prepared to enthusiastically see it through and support it.
If it meant other people were on board.
Yeah. If it meant not having a slightly uncomfortable argument or conversation, they were like, sure. Jack up your areolas at 22.
So anyway, maybe I'll respond to the plastic surgery company and see if they suggest moving my areolas up a 1/4 inch.
Yeah, what if they're like, we know.
We know.
They're a 1/4 inch too low.
Yeah, we're going to move them up for you.
Yeah, you're a 30-year-old woman with the boobs of a 28-year-old. Everyone knows 28's where the boobs are worst.
Yeah, where the boobs get bad. I think that also does demonstrate insight into my mind too at that age, where it's like when you're 22, the worst thing that you could be is 28.
Well, that's the nightmare.
Yeah. I think 28-year-olds feel really old. I think that actually is a universal feeling because you're the oldest young person that exists.
Well, yeah. I mean, I also think that's like when you're 28, you're in your 20s, but you're approaching 30.
Yeah.
So you feel 30 coming for you, and you are constantly looking in the rearview mirror. Like, because at like 24, 25, mid 20s, again, late 20s is where you feel the oldest. I genuinely believe that. And there's the thing, at 29, you're kind of over. Like 30's
you're
coming.
like whatever. You've resigned yourself.
You're like desperately trying to hang on to your earlier 20s.
I also think there's just so many, like, again, I think part of the reason why like 28 is hard is also because like there's no way for a 28-year-old to dress. And also people, that's true. I always say this. I'm like, if you go to the mall, the only options for style are, do I want to look like a slutty teenager or do I want to look like Hillary Clinton?
Yeah.
And there's no kind of like, no one has a good handle on how people should be dressing from ages like 27 to like 47.
Yeah.
If I'm not trying to be Hillary Clinton in a power suit, or I'm not trying to be like an Instagram baddie.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a bear market, right?
Well, for men, that's kind of like always the way it is.
Right.
It's like this weird split between like, I'm either a hype beast or a carpenter.
Or a businessman.
Or there's businessman.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about businessman that's kind of, I guess, nice about businessman.
Yeah.
They all dress the same.
Yes.
18-year-olds who
businessman,
want to major in finance, they dress like a businessman. As like 45-year-old finance.
Right. But I think also age is less of a factor for people who have like that kind of profession too.
Well, that whole profession is, like, again, it's very American Psycho. It's very much about like meeting the aesthetic standards of fitting in. But in terms of just normal people, it's like, again, like you see it. It's like a 28-year-old man. It's either he's still trying to look 18,
right,
or he's trying to look 50. He's got like the big mustache and like facial hair and like,
or he does look 50 by
plaid.
virtue of like we talk about this too. When you're late 20s, you start to see the choices that you've made in your early and mid 20s.
Yeah.
Where like if you've been drinking a lot and not working out, not taking care of your body, that starts to really show itself.
Well, I do think it's an interesting thing, like not even like on like a fitness or like body level or whatever, because look, everyone has different things that work best for them. So it's not a judgmental way in which you're saying this, but I am like, when you're in high school, all of your activities are done for you.
Yeah.
Like you have a schedule. You go to school and then you go to sports after school. And on the weekends you go to a game or you do an activity. It's like, it's very planned for you. And to a lesser degree, so is college. You have a schedule, you have things you do, your friends are going, you're on campus, which inherently creates a structure. But then once you get out of college, like there is no structure. So there's people that I know where it's like, they were like huge athletes in like high school and even some of them even college. And they get out of college. I'm like, it's not like they're lazy or anything. It's just that it doesn't occur to them to schedule an activity.
I do think the more scheduled you are in your youth, the harder time you have as an adult being a self-starter. Like if you were someone who always had your activities planned for you, it's very difficult for you to know how to kind of block up your own free time. Whereas like I think all the time about how, again, when I was 16, I stopped going to normal high school and I started going to community college for like a year, and it made it so I had a lot of free time. And it was during that kind of period of time that I like learned how to schedule my own free time, and like being someone who knows things I can do when I don't have anything to do has made me, dare I say, like a moderately successful self-employed person.
Well, I think the true gift that I think you and I share in terms of learning how to like schedule activities for yourself is not to be like a little Debbie Downer, is bluntly going through periods of your life where you have no friends.
Have no friends.
Because if you have no friends, that means like if you want to do anything, you have to plan out everything.
Yes, 100%.
So, but that also means like you get used to kind of scheduling things for yourself, and then eventually you make friends, and then we're out on the town, we're crushing it.
But also now your friends, I think that's also something I realized too. It's like as a loner who was used to self-scheduling, the second that I did make friends, all my friends really liked me because I always had ideas for things that we could go do.
True. But you know what? Back to this other thing, and this might be a little judgmental, but I'll do it. Late 20s, early 30s, and really adult life in general doesn't hit anybody harder than the son of a boy mom. Dude, the sons of boy moms, their adulthood hits them like a freight train. Because here's the thing, they grew up in an environment as a son of a boy mom where every single aspect of their life was fully catered to.
Yeah.
They never had to do their own laundry. They never had to cook their own food. They never had to like schedule their own like activities. Every single thing, every part of their life was done by their mom with great enthusiasm. But that means like when they get out of college generally, and now they're just kind of adrift because their mom's not there.
When they're 25 and they're 1 year off the teat, when they just stopped breastfeeding last year. Yeah, they're so lost.
Boy moms are completely lost. And so that's why like a boy mom, literally, you look at the son of a boy mom in high school, and in many ways he is living the dream.
Yes.
Like he is literally like he's playing all the sports because his mom signed him up for all the sports.
Well, he eats healthy because his mom washes his berries
and makes all his food. Oh, boy moms love to wash berries.
My friends and I would always joke, like you could tell who had a really bad boy mom by which guys came back Thanksgiving, freshman year of college, the guys who came back and had already put on like 20 pounds. I'm like, that person's mom was completely controlling their food intake, and now they're at college and they have literally no idea how to feed themselves in a way that doesn't make them fat as fuck / the beer weight.
Yeah, well, it's the beer weight.
It was so funny to see like, oh, like we've been gone. I haven't seen you in 5 months and you've literally gained 20 pounds since I last saw you, which again makes me think your mom was doing a great job and you will need to figure some shit out.
Those are like the boy mom. And again, nothing wrong with gaining weight.
No.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with gaining weight.
Again, it is normal to like gain weight from when you're 18 to when you're an adult, obviously.
Also, it's not even like just like, oh, like you gain weight. It's more so just
it's
like,
what that indicates.
Well, to me, it's more so like you got nothing going on.
Right.
So also like these are the people like they're aimless. Like they don't know how to get a job because their mom isn't the one hiring.
Right.
They don't.
Yes.
They've never had to like go into an interview to like walk into a job interview and like state their case is totally foreign and alien to them because why state their case? Their mom was their advocate for the first 18 years of their life.
Or like also like learning how to be charismatic or charming to people who aren't your mom.
Yeah. Well, you don't need to be charming and charismatic because your mom is there to tell everyone
How
he's so charming and charismatic.
Exactly. You have like a hype man, your hype mom.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you have someone like hyping you up the whole time. So it's just kind of like you don't know how to hype yourself up. So then you meet someone in like their mid-20s and they're just completely mute and they're just kind of like dark circles under their eyes. Like they seem to kind of just be drifting. They've got nothing going on. And it's like, you're the son of a boy mom.
You're the
also,
son of a boy
they
mom.
stink. Why? Because they never figured out how to like put detergent in the laundry machine.
Yeah, that's so real. Yeah, they're plagued by moldy towels because their mom always did their laundry.
Also, and you know what? And I smell great. You want to know why? It's because my mom didn't have fucking time to deal with me.
Well, you had a working mom.
I had a working mom. She was like,
Again,
make your own fucking berries.
I think that's real as fuck. I think like in a lot of ways, neglecting your child is the kindest thing that you can do to secure their adult future.
Yeah. Dude, there were times, man.
Yeah.
There were times where like whenever I was like sick at school and I had to like leave early the couple times I was actually sick, like because I liked being at school. Whenever I was sick at school and I had to like call my mom to come pick me up early, I swear to God, she would always pick me up later than if I hadn't been sick. Like, cause she would always, there was something about me calling her to be like, hi, you need to like leave work to come pick me up. And she'd be like, oh, okay, well, I've got to finish some stuff and then I'll be there. And it's almost like by putting her brain into this mode of finish everything and then go get Robert.
Yeah.
She actually took more time than if she just like went to like go get me at the normal time.
That's really funny.
Yeah. And again, she was, oh my God. My mom and I would always argue. And I'm sure I was being annoying. I love my mom. But I would always be so frustrated because she would always like, she would show up a different time of late to pick me up from school. And so like, there would be times where like she would show up at like, if school got out at 3, there'd be times she'd show up at like 3:45. There'd be times she showed up at like 5. And I'd always say to her, I was like, tell me what time you're going to show up. And no matter what that time is, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then she'd be like, well, I don't know what time it's going to be. And I would say, well, I don't know. Maybe you could just hurry up. And then my mom would always say, do you think that makes me more likely or less likely to hurry up? And I would say less likely. But you know what? That kind of attitude is why I knew how to do my own laundry.
Right. Also, you knew how to interact with bosses.
I knew how to interact with bosses.
Like annoying bosses who, again, were weird when you got sick.
I was like, hey, I would like go into my boss's office and I was like, hey, can you please like approve the time off I requested? I feel like I requested it a while ago. It still hasn't been approved. And my boss would be like, now, do you think that makes me more likely or less likely to approve it? And I'd be like, oh, old faithful. I've heard this song before.
I know exactly how to respond to this.
Okay, all right. I want to ask you this because we were watching a TV show where the bit is like someone has like a crazy tattoo or whatever. And we always talk about this. And I always think of this. Would you still love me if I got like a really crazy tattoo?
What's the tattoo? It would just have to depend on what it is.
Well, let's work up. What if I got a tattoo?
Yeah.
All right. What was the name of your third grade teacher?
I don't want to say her name.
Oh, that's
Actually,
fair.
I can just say her name because it's her maiden name.
Okay.
Should I say her name?
Well, yeah.
Her name at the time was Miss Pennell.
What if I just got Miss Pennell tattooed on my arm?
I mean, I guess that's just like, what's the story?
The story is there is no story.
The story is like, there's no story, and you show up.
I just have Miss
tomorrow,
Pennell.
and you have Miss Pennell tattooed on you,
and that's it.
I mean, I guess that's like, I'd be like, oh, okay.
Okay.
I think that's fine. Do you want to go to level 2?
Well, let's go to level 2.
Okay. Yeah.
What if I? Okay.
Yeah.
What if I got a tattoo? And it's what if I got a tattoo of Bugs Bunny and Charlie Kirk and they're kissing?
I mean, again, okay, here's my thing. Can I say?
Yeah.
It's not the tattoo. It's like the impetus to get the tattoo. It's like I'm wondering psychologically what's going on.
Clearly, I'm going through something in order to get the tattoo.
Exactly.
It's not like you would be bothered by a thing on my body.
No. Also, it's like if before I met you, you had all of these. I'm like, I don't think they would have really like. I mean, again, it's just like, who are you that you have?
If before I met you,
Charlie Kirk and Bugs Bunny kissing and my third grade teacher.
Yeah,
if before you met me, you had my third grade teacher tattooed on your arm. Yeah, I know that would definitely be a deal breaker. I'd be like, who is this person? Has he been sent here to kill me?
Well, what if I just had like Miss Pennell on my arm?
Right.
And you were like, that's my third grade teacher's name. And I'd be like, oh, no way.
Yeah.
That might actually have been a good little icebreaker.
Maybe. Yeah. But then I would have been like, why do you have a tattoo on your arm?
It is always the story behind it.
Yeah, exactly. It's always why. Because it's like, okay, like I have a thank you next tattoo on my forearm. And I got it, when Ariana Grande's song Thank You Next came out because I was going through a breakup and I just literally thought it'd be funny.
Yeah.
And it is funny. I think it ages great. And I like the overall message of it, which is when something bad happens to you, you say thank you for the experience and then you move on.
Yeah.
Does this off put you?
Here's the thing. Okay, but I guess now I've kind of talked myself into this weird corner where I'm like, it fits with you. Like the type of person you are, I know that you can, and I don't actually mean this in a negative way, you can sometimes be very manic and very dramatic.
Yes.
And you mythologize yourself, so it makes sense that you would get like a crazy tattoo.
Yeah.
Like
I guess for you, it's like any tattoo would be really out of character because you've never gotten any tattoos at all.
So actually, there's no normal tattoo.
There's no normal tattoo. You couldn't get a normal tattoo. You've never gotten a tattoo.
So there'd be no
If
version.
you came to me and you were like, I'm going to get a tattoo, I would be like so worried about you, genuinely. And I'd be like, what's going on, babe?
I go to your mom, I go, I'm going to get a crazy tattoo of Dana's third grade teacher's name.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I'll schedule the consult.
The tattoo artist is like, so what if we do it in invisible ink?
The tattoo artist is like, hey, Robert, I really think that like this tattoo is a bad idea. It doesn't seem like you're maybe thinking responsibly as you kind of make the decision to get it. So I would prefer not to give you this tattoo. And I go, oh, well, thank you. And they go, but we got to do something about those areolas.
But let me fix your eyebrows.
We got to move your eye. I'm like, I go to a plastic surgeon. I'm like, I'm getting a lot of comments saying fix my eyebrows. I need to raise them a quarter inch.
Is that what you guys mean by fix his eyebrows?
Is that what
you want them raised a quarter inch?
I come back next podcast episode. They're in the middle of my forehead. There's like weird stitching and that's like breaking and bleeding. Blood's leaking into my eyes. I'm like, am I beautiful now?
Yeah. Let us know.